December, January. Let's find out. You're already on it? Yeah. 16. Okay.
Okay.
Based on like your corner or salary and everything.
Okay, Jerry, we're on.
Good evening and welcome to the Borough Park Summer Council meeting, October 1st at 7 p.m. In attendance, we have Ms. Lopez isn't here yet. Ms. Simro. Present. Mr. Frola.
Present.
Mr. Guzzo.
Here.
Mr. Mitchell isn't here yet. Mayor Kelly.
I am here.
Jim
I'm on the
Saliga.
Zoom, Jerry.
Jean
I'm here.
Hallinan,
Here.
Bob Shields.
Here.
Chief Yarns.
Here.
And we don't have our junior council members yet.
Yes, I have not heard from either of them. Ronnie is not going to be here and Josh is actually,
I am here on the Zoom. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
at Junior Councilman Mitchell will not be here. He's currently on the soccer field in Valley View and I'm watching him. So that's where he is.
Okay.
Okay, good
Here.
enough. Thank you, Josh. We'll stand for a moment of meditation. And we will have our chief, then lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Thank you. First item on our agenda is our Park Center Police Department, Fire Department.
Wow, get right to it, don't we?
Time to prep for that one. Thank you, Madam President. Those who don't know me, I'm Joe Croft, Clark Summit Fire Company Fire Chief, and well, came to the council meeting tonight to discuss with all of you possible acquisition of a soon to be retired police car. It would serve the fire company very, very well. As many of you know, years ago, we were volunteer BLS, basic life support. We've had hardships with people volunteering, training requirements have gotten higher. We went to a paid BLS. From there, we advanced to a advanced EMT, and now we've gone full advanced life support. So basically what ends up happening is our ambulance has a BLS crew and a paramedic as well. And what we've been doing for the meantime is because some paramedics are always dispatched via GPS. So what ends up happening is we've been using our squad as a supplemental to get the medic if in the event the call is not in our immediate coverage area. Therefore, services can be rendered elsewhere, typically South Abington, neighboring departments, neighboring areas. We've been in contact with a couple of you kind of in passing, as council members about the police car is going to be retired. And we have a very, very big interest in it because what we can do with that vehicle is we can make that the responding paramedic unit and free up our quad cab pickup truck that we typically use for pumping details and stuff. It's a little awkward. It doesn't really suit the need, but we're getting by with it. So we wanted to come before the council today and basically ask, we don't know what your plans with the soon to be retired vehicle are, but we'd be very interested in acquiring it. And it would have a good home and continue to serve the immediate community.
So when you say acquire it, are you looking to buy it or?
I'm sure we can work out something financially. If the council was generous enough to donate it, we would never say no. But if nothing else, I understand the vehicle does have value. And I know typically, I think it's municipal is what most municipalities use to get rid of equipment. We would at least like for a crack at it, if nothing else. Being the fact it's already half loaded with equipment we would need on it anyway, sirens, that kind of stuff. It's already been outfitted with flashing lights. Like that's a huge savings for us. We've had to put up a lot of money so far to get our operation to advanced life support, buying heart monitors and stuff, which are very, very expensive medication. And we've absorbed that cost because we want to provide that service for everybody. But just the timing with the police car, new one coming in, the old one possibly going out, we didn't want to miss the opportunity, if nothing else, to at least get first break at it.
Joe, I guess, with and the chief can probably, back this up, I guess the police vehicles are the blue and red lights, correct?
Yeah, you can they're actually programmable light bars now,
Okay.
LEDs, so you take it to place. And you kind of like plug it into a laptop type thing, and they can reprogram the lights to do
So it would be basically red for, I would assume for you guys.
Right, yes.
And then would you be looking to also modify it as far as the painting and things like that?
The color of the vehicle isn't critical. Obviously, lettering would have to come off before you guys got rid of it. We would have to letter it for our needs because for EMS purposes, it literally has to say EMS squad on it. It has to have a department of health sticker on it with license numbers and such. And that's all fine and good. We're totally willing and able to outfit a vehicle like that. But we've looked at a few used vehicles and they were very used. That we just didn't feel the numbers were right, the mileage was right, the condition of the vehicle was right. And this, we know the history. Obviously, we have a wonderful relationship with the police department. And so we have all their expertise of using the vehicle for years to draw off of, and obviously public records of what you guys have done to it. So at least we know what we're getting. So, and that became very appealing to us.
Just for the record, on Monday, it's Monday, I think, well, I got notice from the dealership, the car that we purchased on the grant, that's down in, Jim Thorpe, the dealership down there. So it's here, they have to do some upfitting, striping and so forth. So you're looking 2 to 3 weeks, or probably closer to 3 weeks, gonna be ready. I've got to transfer, the radio from the old car, which will be removed, by the way, the radio from the old car, the laptop mount, the laptop, because we're not buying any of that stuff, we're gonna move it over to the other car. We have a V-spec in there that's gonna go over, they're gonna do that for us, dealership. So, that's probably what it was when they started discussing it, because I did mention to the chief that it was coming up, the new car's here, so. But that's
It's very appealing to us because there's a lot of mechanical upfitting that they don't always strip away, which plays right into what our purpose would be with it, like the wiring relays, that kind of stuff. Usually they get most of it out, but the fact that the raceways, the wiring's already there, it's a sure win. And if the better it comes outfitted to us, the better. Because that's that much less we would have to put into it. And realistically, because it's going to another emergency service, the less you guys may have to take out.
I mean, I'll be honest, I think it's really exciting that, and what you do and how this could help you, but at the same time, the fire company is its own entity.
Absolutely.
It's not part of the borough. And traditionally, what we do on this is we take it and we auction it off for the most money we can get for the taxpayers. So, I'm a little leery, and maybe we could look into that a little bit about, giving you first crack at it or donating it to you, because I don't know if that would set a precedence or be kind of a little bit collusion, since you are not, as much as the Clarksville Fire Company and the Clarksville Borough work hand in hand. And we appreciate everything you do, and we couldn't live without what you do, the volunteers and everything. I know money is passed through tax dollars to you, but I don't know if that would be, that might be a sort of a bad precedent, because I'm sure there are other organizations, we do have in the community, and I'm sure they would like us to help them. And I don't know if we can.
I understand. Once you get that ball rolling, I get it. And at the end of the day, all of you are culpable to the constituents with money and or be it direct or indirect, such as the value of a vehicle. I totally respect that.
And as close as the fire company is, how much we appreciate it. You guys are your own entity, and I don't think you want to be, and we don't want to be running your, getting too connected or anything like that.
Understood, 100%.
But that's just my opinion, and I'm sure the solicitor.
I genuinely, we don't know what the legalities are in regarding a publicly owned piece of property. So as such, I just wanted to come here and formally let everybody know we are extremely interested. And if it boils down to, a price for the vehicle, which I would think any reasonable person would expect. We just, if nothing else, get first crack to try and negotiate something out. That way, at least you guys at the end of the day can say, yep, we put money back in the coffers. We got fair market value, whatever it may be, or, went to the fire company, stayed in town. At least put all your money to rest that you've done the right ethical thing. So I completely respect that.
Yeah, and we do it, and everyone in Borough Council, they generally do this like boot camp thing, and that's one of the big things, is even if you think you're maybe, could sell it to your cousin and there's nobody else who may want it, you don't want that. The perception will look like
The optics,
that
I understand.
you're not giving everybody a fair shot, so.
Understandable. But again, I don't know what the legalities are or are not. I can let you know the business that I do. I just wanted to California and let the interest be known.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting idea and it would help out because you want to use it for EMT stuff. I mean, that's
Specifically for paramedics,
okay.
for EMS, yes.
I just want to say I appreciate all you do for all of us. So I love the idea and would love the our solicitor to look into it and get some details for us.
That would be great. That's basically all we're asking for.
I appreciate all you do too.
Thank you.
As the police department, I can say we appreciate them when we're.
But I just want to make contact with you guys officially, on the record, so, he's on the up and up, but, and see what was possible. I don't know.
And I think we definitely can negotiate something. It's gonna definitely work out.
That would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Any other
Thank
questions?
you, guys.
Does anybody have any other questions for Joe or?
I mean, I guess, Drew, if that's something, have you looked into this? at all?
Considered nonprofit group.
Right, exactly.
I can
right.
look into it, with issue and
Oh,
your
thank
opinion
you.
on how to, if it's feasible to get the fire department to
Okay,
first crack at it, or however
Sure.
council to proceed that. I'll have
Thank you.
Next meeting on that.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for your time, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
very much.
Like a good start.
Look at your places to go.
The approval of our agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Jean. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kathleen. On the question, all in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
The next is the approval of the minutes from our August 27, 25 work session meeting, our September 3rd borough council meeting, and also our September 24th work session. We have a motion to accept these.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 27th work session, September 3rd council meeting, and the September 24th work session.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jean. On the question, all in favor? All
Aye.
opposed? Favors have it. Next item on our agenda is our public comment. Do we have anyone who would like to address council? Gail, you were the first one here, so you can take the podium
okay.
first.
Thank you, Madam President and Council. My name is Gail Reese. I'm here representing the Appington Business and Professional Association, primarily in response to an email that I had received from Jen Basilega regarding bike racks. Apparently it was a topic that was brought up at one of your recent meetings. A resident, I guess, approached you to say she had an issue with placing her bike in a store, wasn't allowed. So she asked for some input as far as what council could do to help with that issue. Jen approached me. And so I basically responded back that we'd love the opportunity to explore the issue, due diligence, do some research, possibly talk to local businesses, see what we can do, if anything, to try to mitigate that situation. Interesting concept. I know some other towns obviously have bike racks, so we'll have to see what we can do and then obviously get back to you with, some sort of a solution. The other thing too, just sort of off topic, I was curious, is the borough doing anything specific to PA 250? Is there any sort of committee that's been established? That's right around the corner.
Yep.
So, and I know a lot of towns, I'm involved with a committee in Dalton,
Mhm.
and we're already activating something. The Bells Across PA, I was at the unveiling in Scranton. So I just didn't know if you were gonna spearhead anything or
Up to council.
be glad to get involved in something like that.
That
think
sounds
it's
great.
necessary.
Yeah, if you're interested in it, that's.
Very interested in it, but I didn't want to overstep. I didn't know if anyone has started a
So
committee.
what exactly did you have in mind? I know.
I'm not sure exactly. Like I said, every town, Attorney Shields, like I know Dalton, we're gonna be doing some things downtown to tie the town together. We do different things. We have concerts. Obviously, we're gonna present in the, spirit of obviously 250. We're gonna have speakers. Anything, we have like a 5K run. We're gonna do that in honor of the country. So different things we're gonna tie in to the actual, I guess it's sesquicentennial. I'm not saying it right, but there is a word that.
Yeah, there is a
There's a word that means 250.
This will be celebrated in July of two thousand twenty-six.
That would be the culmination. You know, you figure July 4th and all of that as far as that's concerned, but I just didn't know if there was any interest as far as council otherwise at this point. So,
Gail, when is the next ABPA meeting?
we're meeting specifically for Ice Festival next week. I can let you know if you'd like to attend that.
If you would,
Okay.
please.
Okay,
Yeah,
very good.
that would be great.
So you're thinking something like might bring people to the downtown, like an
Yes,
event? Or
why not? And celebrate certainly Clark Summit's historical, and we should be celebrating not only your country, but certainly the borough. So,
Jerry, 5:30, Tuesday the 7th, at Cafe 27.
Oh,
Is that
okay. The 27th.
Yes. No. Next
next week. the
Next week,
7th
October
at
7th, and it's at Cafe
27
Right.
in Clark Street.
at 5:30. That's for
5:30.
ice.
Okay.
Very good. So anyway, to be continued, and as far as the committee for 250, I don't know if I should be approaching someone or if anyone on the council is interested. I'd be glad to-
Council's interested.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, to be continued.
To be continued.
Super.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
for your time.
Thanks, Gail.
Well, then I definitely will see you on the 7th.
Okay.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank
you. Okay, do we have anyone else who'd like to address council? Okay. Item on our agenda is our police report.
Okay, I think I told the DPW this as well, but the radio tower that borough owns, I thought
Yeah.
water tanks, the Pennsylvania American water tanks in Clark Street Borough. They're gonna be moving that on Tuesday, because they're gonna paint that whole one tower, that one tank. So, they're gonna move it from one tank to another tank. They're gonna do some new wiring back down to the bottom, and they're gonna paint the whole thing, so there's no cost for us. So that's the good news. But on Tuesday, we won't have a borough channel for a while, until you get all that done. So we're moving all the antennas that are on one water tower over to the other one, because the one needs to be painted, the other one doesn't need to be painted like that. So I don't know if you know that, we have a borough repeater antenna up there. There's a shack down below that belongs to the water company, our radios in there. So when we talk, when we talk on our radio, the road crew guys and the fire department as well as the police, that's what they use, this computer up there. It's an antenna. So luckily, there's no cost for us.
The towers are in Park Street.
Yes, they're across. It's done, it's a high point elevation, that's the
Right.
reason why it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
The top of Highland and stuff.
Right in the corner of Highlands, Dunbar Road.
Yeah.
That's where our, it's been there for long as, it's been there as long as I can remember. I know about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe Jerry can remember this, we bought a new one, because the other one was dying.
Yeah.
And then we had to put a new radio in there. Maybe it was more than that. That could be more than 5 or 6 years. Not sure.
I know Ray Hillwood lived in that house.
What's that?
Ray Hillwood lived in the house right where that tower was.
Oh, yeah.
His father was
Yeah.
with the water company. but-
Yeah.
So that's how I think.
Well, they're gonna drain that tank. They're gonna drain the one tank. They're gonna empty it and they're gonna
Yeah.
clean the inside. I guess it's a scheduled maintenance thing.
Oh,
All
okay.
these things. So, the good news is I was worried they're gonna be telling us we're gonna pay for all this, but they're gonna do it for
Oh,
us,
yeah.
which is good. The DUI grant has been suspended for a while because of, it's October 1st and that's, money comes to the federal government. And October 1st is a new fiscal year for the federal government. So it hasn't, and plus I think there's, shutdown. So we can't do any DUI enforcement, as far as the actual patrols are concerned,
Sure.
that we get reimbursed for. We're just kind of on hold for that. I did mention to you earlier, the new car has arrived, our new car that we got a grant for,
Yeah.
that we approved, I think, back in June or something like that. Well, yeah, it was June, so it's here. It's not here, it's in the dealership in Jim Thorpe. So, and they have to come up here and take the stuff out of the other car and transfer it into the new car, things like that. That's processing, and battery, and put a new cage in there and, light bars and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, you know about that. I don't, this, one thing that's on the agenda here at the bottom, I did talk to Councilman Shields about this, as well as, Councilman and Jerry, as well as,
Sure.
Josh Mitchell. The Our Lady of Peace School, is looking to have some sort of a school resource officer on a part-time basis. I'm not exactly sure what they're looking for. They're kind of looking for like hours here and there. It's not for a full-time officer. It's gonna be for a part-time officer. I spoke to the union about this and they're not opposed to it. So, it would be at their regular rate and, they would reimburse us for the hours that we spent up there. But what I'd like to do now is ask, I guess it's up to, obviously, it's up to the council president. But I'm thinking the finance committee makes the most sense to meet with them, to schedule a meeting with them. With the principal and somebody from the diocese, I think would be coming. And it'd be mayor and I and three on the finance committee. So what I can do is, if that's okay, is propose like 4 dates, 2 next week and 2 the following week, and tell me which date's good for you. She told me, the principal of OLP said she's good, but every day but Wednesday. So I'll try to facilitate that. I'll be in communications with everybody, trying to set up a date. And we can come up here and meet here and go over what we do, you know.
That's a good direction to go with it, I think.
Oh, yeah, well, any agreement that we do come up with, if we do come up with one, I would say, Mayor, that I'd want some kind of MMO. There's some concerns that I have as far as the staffing of it. But I think they could be worked out, because I already spoke to her already about some of this stuff. But I wouldn't want to, that it would obviously have to be reviewed by the solicitor, the agreement in writing.
Sure.
And that's it.
Mrs. Carey and I went to an event at the Regal Room, and it was like the Council of Boroughs, and they had District Attorney Brian Gallagher speak.
Yeah.
And he mentioned they're, I guess, reinstating a program for community service, and I guess boroughs would be eligible to have people who are, I guess, nonviolent, just working to kind of do community service on behalf of the borough. And Mrs. Carey mentioned, I guess at one time we did do that. Do you have any experience?
Did it with the Veterans Court.
I know they do that with Veterans Court. I apologize, but maybe Drew knows a little about this.
Yeah, there was a community service program that was implemented for years in Lackawanna County. The prior district attorney's office administration basically removed that. So Brian Gallagher has reinstated the community service program. So it would be for people who are getting ARDs for nonviolent offenders, for people who are low level crimes. And those services, again, you have to apply through the district attorney's office. They would be eligible to do any sort of work that borough would deem appropriate under those community service guidelines set by the district attorney's office and imposed by the court as part of a sentence.
Okay, so like that could be like maybe cleaning a park or doing
cleaning a park, things of that nature. You think of as the typical community service type, cleaning streets, helping out with organized events, things of that nature.
And does adult probation do that, or would we have to have somebody involved with that?
The district attorney's office has a liaison that would run that. They would go through that liaison, but it would be court ordered as part of a sentence or part of a plea agreement with the district attorney's office.
I remember you used them here one time for painting. We painted inside the building here and different things. Back in the day, I remember them coming here. And maybe you remember, Jen.
I remember.
Yeah. Yep. That would be helpful for projects that we, that we don't have time for the road crew to do or other people and free labor of sorts. Yeah, I remember we had to buy the paint, but they did they painted the insides of some of the offices, which I thought was pretty nice.
Yeah, they took on quite a few projects.
Yes, I remember. I think there's something near the park down there. They were doing something.
Yeah.
They built steps.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. Everybody built those steps down at the park.
I think Herman Johnson and Pat Williams were a part of that whole thing.
Projects in town. I think about it. And it was nice because we had to do it by the area.
Yeah, right.
And they built the wooden steps there.
Yeah.
That go up, pretty handy.
Do you think that's something we could look into, you think, or?
I think there's things here that would be nice to have done around here that, I mean, that, you know, that was free labor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it helps them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great program, so it's definitely useful for the borough, so if there are any sort of, you know, projects with manual labor.
one of those things I've been wanting to do here in town was, the parking meters, right? I like, on Depot Street, it's done, paint the little lines where indicates where cars can park. I think it'd be easier in town, when we enforce these things, sometimes they're double parked at 2 meters because of. I've seen headlines, it'd be nice, and a paint cart and a couple guys, and you know, it'd probably take you a little while, but, you know, when go to cost it. Maybe about 10 cans of paint or something, they're usually spray cans, you know, I mean, in the car. That'd be something, like little things like that, you know, cleaning up parks, maybe cutting down brush or something.
Yeah, that's, well, we'll definitely, interact with it and see whether we can.
Thankfully, I have a connection with the DA's office here, so.
Yeah, we're interested, yeah, I think we can figure out something tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Does anybody have any questions for our chief? Or our lawyer wants to excuse him?
Or he's by all means excused.
Thanks,
If there are no other questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And we just want to let you know, that was an excellent race that you had
Yeah,
for your
I wanna thank
Chief's
everybody,
Memorial. It was done
there was a
very
young
well.
man that won the thing and he was like unbelievably fast. His last name was Shields, I think. Tommy Shields.
Yeah.
That guy was like a deer, man.
Yeah.
My kids go, I can't take it. Cause they were all, for a few months before, they were running down, different parts of, you know, we're down a trolley trail running and different, all pumped up, right? And my son Reese, he's like, I can't believe he went way up.
He was very excited about it. It was a great
That
day.
was great, yeah.
Yeah, so it was good, it was a success, it was smooth, and the weather was beautiful, can't complain about the weather.
No. I told Amy, she put me in charge of the weather, so.
I think the next time, I do it, I do believe, that, Councilman Carey has agreed to jump from an airplane. As part of.
I said, we can work that out.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
A perfectly good airplane.
It
Exactly.
was a very successful. Mr. Rowland was there too as well. He helped. And the ambulance was there.
Yes. Yeah, come in handy.
I was hoping we had a
Little guy
little.
there. Yeah, you got your work. out.
The ambulance on a white phone. All right, thank you.
We'll just keep
Thanks.
moving forward with
Yep.
it, Chief. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, Jen, our written quotes. The treasury report, do you have a motion?
It's not available,
Oh,
because today is the first and,
Okay.
yeah, so we'll have that for the next time. We'll have both.
Perfect, okay. And, the vendor payments to be ratified. With motion to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jean, on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried. Under old business, we have our PDBG funding available, and we all have a copy of our sources and uses.
Yep, Joe Ravinsky just gave us, our total there.
Right.
So council has that.
The total's over $500,000.
Close to. Yep. So Joe just provided us with that, Josh Mitchell was talking to him and they were just kind of, going over a few things. So he provided us with this information.
Do you want me to speak to that now, Jen?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
I can kind of, I spoke to Joe for about a half an hour yesterday, and I can share kind of what I understand and what I think we need to do, and then I see Mark Spatz is there, so Mark can speak to some of the projects here that are at the park. I know we talked about this resolution, which is on our agenda here shortly for us to consider last week, which names the crosswalk project. That resolution, so I misunderstood kind of what the purpose of that resolution was and talked this through with Joe. But that resolution, which we should take action on tonight, is for us to basically accept the 2025 allocation. We've done that in previous years without naming a project. So Joe basically just said it's better to name a project, and so we've plugged this one in because it is one that probably at some point in the future we're going to want to do. So it doesn't mean that we end up having to spend those particular dollars on that project. It just is there as a named project for us to consider later. So that's something then that we should move forward on, so that we basically authorize the county to take receipt of those funds for us to spend later on. In terms of, and Mark can speak more to this, in terms of the other projects, Joe, I'm a little unsure why it's taking so long to get the state's approval on those other two projects at Hillside Park. Mark can speak to that here in a moment. But essentially, Joe basically agreed that those two projects would be the first ones that we would move on when the state finally approves those. And that could be as early as next month if the state approves them, that we could, have a resolution for us to consider, which would authorize the county to take those projects to bid. That would be the next step on any of these projects, would be a resolution that would allow the county to start the bidding process on that project. Then there would then be another resolution once the bidding is done for us to actually authorize the county to enter into agreement with the low bidder. So it's a series of several resolutions. Then the one that we have on our agenda for today is for us to accept that 2025 allocation. We don't have anything else to consider today. Perhaps next month, if the state gets moving on approving those potential projects. So that's my understanding from Joe about how all of that needs to work. I did speak to Drew yesterday, and he can comment on this as well, just to get his confirmation that all of that is his understanding as well, in terms of what each of these different resolutions would do, and what we're bound to by passing one. Basically, the one that we have before us tonight, and I'll stop after this, and Drew can speak, and then I know Mark is there as well. I know my concern was the potential engineering expenses, which I saw we got an estimate on from Bob Nagley today. By naming this particular project in this resolution, it doesn't mean we would move on it in 2026. So it doesn't mean that we're committing ourselves to having to budget for that in 2026, given that that's an unknown. It's really just the step that we have to take so that we receive that allocation that we're entitled to. So that's what I understand. And Drew, I don't know if you wanna jump in here next.
Yes, so I spoke with Joe Ravinsky as well, just to follow up relative to that resolution that is before council this evening. And everything that Josh said is accurate. There's approximately 8 steps to this process of getting the funds dispersed. This resolution is solely that, first or second step in that process, essentially. So although the resolution does identify the crosswalk project as the recipient of those funds, that can later be amended should those funds need to be used for a different project. So I would recommend the council tonight to make a motion and to vote on that resolution, so that those funds are available to us, and that the borough can utilize those with the CDBG funds, for whatever projects are appropriate, and that those funds need to be used for. Again, it's the first or second step in a about 8 or 9 step process of getting these funds actually spent.
Okay, thank you, Drew. So, we should move forward then, would you think to vote on this tonight?
Yes, it would be my recommendation that council votes on that tonight, the recommendation that it does benefit the borough. And it does not really, impact the borough in a negative manner in any way.
And this is covering the senior paving.
No, this is, he's talking about, CDBG resolution 2025-7. That says solar crosswalk, the fourth one
Right.
down.
So-
We're just jumping a little bit, Terry.
Okay.
That's what he's
Yeah,
referring
I
to.
was confused about that.
That's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
So just the crosswalk on this,
That's what we're talking about. The resolution 2025-7.
okay.
So,
Thank you, Jim.
I jump in?
Oh.
Did you want to do the record?
I don't know if you guys are voting on that, that's fine.
We're just gonna vote on, the borough thing, so we can get that moved forward, and then we'll move right on to yours then.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 7. Resolution of the Borough of Clark Summit authorizing the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County to submit an application for federal fiscal year 2025 Community Development Block Grant Program funds in the amount of $104,000, $104,744 on behalf of the Borough of Clark Summit.
I'll second.
And question? All in favor?
I,
All opposed?
Aye.
Favors have it.
6 on.
Thank you. One.
Yeah, we only don't, it's just, Ronnie's the only one not here. Josh is voting. So
There you go.
6 on.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is we have Mike Spatz here, who's gonna take the podium and.
Good evening, council. Again, I'm Mark Spatz, with Hillside Park. Just so Joe doesn't get incriminated, the sources and uses, I put that together to track, like fund usage as the years go by.
Right.
So as we talked about at the last meeting or the meeting before that, or the workshop, I can't remember.
Right.
Last time I was in front of council. Hillside has the, Lakeside Pavilion project and the Senior Center repair project. And the big thing on this, with the sources and uses is the expiration dates. So if you look on the 2021, the column that says 2021 under it, you can see, as we talked about last time, that the funds were set to expire in February 17th, 2026. That's coming up really soon.
Right, exactly.
The county has submitted a extension request, talking with Joe, that seems like it will get approved for Clark Summit and other municipalities. And in that, he's hopeful will take the deadline to September 26, 2026. So it's coming up. It's still, in the municipal world, it's still coming up fairly quick to
Exactly.
do a project, go out the bid, get the bids, go through the 8-step process for the project approvals, all that kind of stuff. So we had talked last time about council, I guess, there'll be, like I talked about, like kind of alluded to, there's other steps of the process here, but we submitted an application for the Lakeside Pavilion project and the Senior Center's repair project for uses of the CDBG funds. And those projects would be able to meet the 2021 expiring fund usage dates. As shown on the sources and uses, as already discussed, Joe is going to be listing the Borough Crosswalk project, which could get done. He's going to be listing that as the project for 2025 funding because they wanted a specific project named this year for that and stuff. So I just put those out there. Basically used up all the 2025 funds that would be eligible for construction costs, and then we're using a portion of the 2024 funds as well for that project.
can you
so
give
is that-
some details on the paving, the senior paving? Is
Sure.
that part of this, the 20?
Yeah, so the senior paving project was completed. The parking lot was completed.
So there was someone that was already
Yes, that was done.
Okay,
So
that's
we,
what I was getting.
yeah, we met the September 25th, 2025
Okay.
date. So all those
I didn't know
funds-
if that was something new. Thank you.
No, so that got used and completed, right in the nick of time, essentially.
Right.
Down to the wire, like within a day or so. So that was all completed, you go figure out and driving by the senior center, go ahead and pull in and check it out. It's a very nice, job.
Beautiful job, yeah.
So this evening I'll be looking for, I think what we did last time, at least for the paving project, and I don't know if it's necessarily required, but this is what we did last time. It's the borough voted to approve the paving project. Then we stepped through the process and then you approved it again and again and with actual physical paperwork that needed to get done.
Right.
So we are kind of at that same stage again. Like, I don't have any paperwork, there's no resolution, but we were looking, like, are we in the right direction? Because if not, we're wasting a lot of time. And you gotta figure out something to use these funds. So we'd be looking for the borough's approval this evening for the Lakeside Pavilion project and the Senior Repairs project, which have already been submitted to the county. We're looking for the county's, the state's approval on those projects as well. If the borough approves it tonight, those two projects, and then we get the county's approval, we'd be back in front of the borough for official, actual, like, here's a resolution to pass and so on and so forth, and we would put those out to bid and all that kind of stuff. Is there any questions?
Can I just add one thing, which is I think so. Everybody has that. Does everybody have that chart that Mark put together in front of them with all the dollars? Is that what I understand?
Yeah.
It's in the packet. Okay, very good. So I mean, the bottom line is that we have ample money to do both of those projects at the park, to do the crosswalk project, and still then to have a pretty good sum of money left over for if we're able to determine if there's anything eligible in Hemlock Park. Something like that. There will be an opportunity to do another project at some point. But those three projects are all very, in my view, very worthwhile, good uses of those dollars, and we'll still have flexibility to consider something else at some point over the next couple of years.
The only thing I would add to that is, just, we're always keeping in mind that the only eligible projects are senior programs or handicap, removing a handicap, a barrier for handicap accessibility. So it gets very narrow, the handicap improvements, which is the crosswalk project. And then anything at the senior center is eligible. And then the park, Lakeside project, we're moving a handicap barrier for that as well. They just always.
Yeah, I did.
Himself that a lot too.
I did see Joe in an email. Joe commented that he thought it probably was going to be difficult to find something eligible at Hemlock Park. I just mentioned that because it's come up. If we can figure out something that's eligible, great. If not, we have the opportunity to find something else. We're not spending every dollar that we have available to us with these three projects. That's the main point I wanted to make.
And then the last point on this, I did a little bit of research. I do a lot of research before I understand, at least on what the research, that's what the AI told me, which is spotty at best. But it seems like the CDBG program was continued to be funded into 26 and 27, that it was cut initially, but then when the House came back with its amendments, that it was still continuing on. That's what I saw. I would say take it for a grain. I never really trust the AI thing. And I started digging a little bit and I'm like, I gotta move on and do other things. But it did seem positive that it was the CDBG funds, like there would be so with that, hopefully there'll be 2026 funds, 2027 funds, so on and so forth. But like Josh said, there's still funds in the kitty.
Certainly. Okay, well, I think we have it all lined up then, Jen, basically.
Council wants to vote.
So we have to vote.
We can just move forward and do our vote, and this way, keep the ball rolling.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I make a motion on the two projects? Is that okay?
Sure.
I think it's three.
Three.
Lakeside, senior, and crosswalk.
And the crosswalk.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion for the Lakeside Pavilion, the senior center repairs, is that how we're listing it, and the crosswalk.
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor? All
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Favors have it. Thank you. We'll move forward with that tomorrow.
Okay, Jen, let me know if, you need any support that crosswalk project, or, and maybe Negley's taking care of it. But to get that on one of the CDB forms, get that submitted a while.
Okay.
Right?
I'll double check. I thought it was submitted, but I
Like
could
a
be.
project description, they have
Yes.
their own little forms.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it, though. I know you're the guy to call.
It's fairly simple, but it
Yeah.
just needs to get done.
Thanks.
As you can see, it takes a while. Like, we submitted the Lakeside and the seniors in April and in May, and it's still not, like, it takes a long
Yeah.
time.
Yes, it
So,
does.
Thank you. for
Thanks,
letting
Mark.
me
I
know.
appreciate it very much.
But mission accomplished. That was a nice
We're
thing.
getting.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good
very
night.
much.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, the next is the SAPA committee
Mhm.
vote.
John Kazista is on board with taking the lead, and Luke is on board with taking the alternate position.
He was very nice.
And we did meet. with
We met Luke, and John's been with us 15 years at least, yeah.
So we do want to do a motion with both of the names, or just want to do one at a time?
What's up? What do you think, Drew? Does it make a difference?
I'll just do one at a time. So it's clear.
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint John Casista as to the SAPA committee vote.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Steve, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Whose favors have it? Thank you. And Luke Boyce.
I'll make a motion to appoint Luke Du Bois as an alternate to the SAPA committee.
You, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Whose favors have it? Thank you. Okay, and our next one is our CDBG for our crosswalk.
Oh, we did that. That was when we did first.
Already had that resolved.
Yep.
Thank you. And the next is the CNA estimate for our engineering fees.
I just got that today. I sent that to council. So this, I assume we talked about budgeting for 2026.
How much is?
Oh, 3, 6, about 9,000.
This
So
would
that's
cost
what
us
we're right now.
$9,000 and it's for
In engineering.
it was 131, it was 100 something, over $100,000 crosswalks.
Right. Yeah.
Not a bad investment.
No, I'm worth it, I think.
I mean, they'll pay, the grant will pay for the 100.
Yes.
It's like all gotta pay is the engineering.
Correct. Yeah. You got it. So I just wanted to, nothing has to be voted on. I just wanted to give council that information so we can just keep everybody informed.
Certainly, thank you, Jim. Do we have a motion to take our CNN estimate?
We don't need,
You don't
need a
need
vote.
We don't have to vote on that then?
No, we'll just put it into the budget for next year, Jerry.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, draw
Thank
that
you.
one then. Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay, and then the other one is the Deckard property Christmas lighting.
Yes, I tried reaching out to Mr. Decker twice this week, no avail. However, I did have an opportunity to review the agreement that was discussed previously. That agreement would allow us, in my opinion, access to that box for the time being. Again, that would be for this year.
Okay.
And then council should make a motion, decide as to the next items on the agenda for
Yeah,
the removal of that and the replacement of that power box. But that agreement does give us access to that power box and the ability to use that.
yeah, and I
Great.
think that's a good direction for us to go because we're so close to getting the town lit up and so on, you know.
So, Ms. Reese, I know you're with the Rotary, so maybe we just kind of give you a little background on what's going on here. I guess at the last meeting, we spoke, I think it was about us talking to Mr. Decker about possibly getting an easement, so that we would be able to keep the electrical, the 9/11 memorial, And we have the clock tower there, and I know the Rotary has some involvement with the clock tower. And my understanding is that the Rotary is not looking to make any sort of repairs to the clock tower, so. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to come to any sort of agreement with Mr. Decker at this time. So now we're in the process of talking about taking down the clock tower, moving the electrical box from there, because that's where we have for our Christmas lights, and then moving the 9/11 memorial, possibly to another area, maybe one of our, the borough parks.
Makes sense.
So I know the Rotary talked about, they were thinking about maybe getting putting a new clock somewhere, but they wanted to get they wanted a brand new one. They're all looking to update that.
Yeah.
Try the one like we have at
Talked to
Park Street.
Phyllis about
Oh, by Clark Street. Oh, yeah, that's a nice one.
My project, so I know that really.
exactly, yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, we're working hand in hand with the Rotary, so. They're pretty much up to date on step by step where we're going with it, so.
But effectively, I think we're at a point now where we're not gonna be going back to Mr. Decker and try to negotiate unless we think something changes or.
No, like I said, the last conversation I had with him, it was, the sticking point was the sewer bill and, a one-time price for an easement or a termed easement was not of interest to him. I tried to show him twice this week to no avail, so.
And we're not interested in negotiating with the sewer bill.
Oh, no. Do it for one, you have to do it for all. so.
Yes.
So, well, we'll just move forward with it. At least we're gonna be able to light the town up and have no issues.
Yes.
Thank you very much, the Red House. Next is our quote from Walsh Electric.
They updated the quote to remove the power box from the property, so that's the updated quote is 5,600.
5,600, like 5,600.
Yes,
Oh,
it was
That's low.
5,100 before,
Oh, they raised it.
and just to remove the box. They
Okay.
moved it, yep.
That's not is that to put it into like how we're.
That's to put it here in the borough
Oh,
and to remove it from Decker's property. So the full job.
Right.
And the next one is Holgate's. I've been emailing them. Haven't gotten a response yet. I want to make sure this price is still the same. This was in the summer. But this was to remove the clock, remove the concrete, to reseed it. So, theirs was 2,000.
So it'd be effectively around like 7,500 or so.
On that, yeah.
to-
I'm not sure exactly how the 9/11 memorial is on there, so you'd have to check that out. Also, Jerry, just today, I think I have the connection for the DeFazio family. I think I found somebody, so I could either give you the number if you'd like to be the point person on that, just to start the conversation with them. And
Yeah.
keep in mind too, that this September, this next coming in 2026 is the 25th anniversary. When you do anything
Exactly.
with that too, it's just a thought.
And also, I did, speak to a few people that felt that the memorial, if it's removed from there, would be placed in our Veterans Park in Clark Summit, which would be an ideal location for it, and we could do a special service next year for that too, so.
Whatever you decide, but
Yeah,
if we need it, I think I have a connection.
I think so too. And then that gives us plenty of time too to work on it, you know, so. we can get that done. Okay. So, under new business, we don't have anything that to report in our solicitors report.
Everything was discussed
All
previously.
bases covered there. Thank you, Drew. No correspondence. And we had no prior, during, or subsequent executive sessions. So at this point, we can adjourn.
I'll make a motion to
Not official
adjourn.
business.
Yes, that's Ronnie snack.
Not official business.
Thank you.
On my forte.
So,
Casually, sarcastically.
I was gonna say. No. Amazing. Jerry?
Jerry, there's no motion to adjourn.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did. I did.
I got your ear there. I'm distracted.
Kathleen. Good night, Josh. I said it softly.